So we are only 72 subscribers away from 400. So, like I said, as you all know, I would like to hit 400 before the end of this year. We've only got about a week left to hit that, but we're sort of about 70 away. So if you enjoy this video and you are not subscribed to the channel yet, please hit that subscribe button, share this video with your friends so that they can watch the video and subscribe. And yeah, please do all that. It means a lot to me. So what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Rank Everything, the show where we rank everything. I'm your host, Ryan, and today we are doing which common Clash Royale card could beat Elden Ring Part 2. So Part 1 was from the beginning of the game to the end of Stormveil Castle. Now this, Part 2, is from the beginning of Liurnia of the Lakes all the way to the end of Raya Lucaria Academy. That's what this part is. So we're going to be ranking all the Clash Royale common cards. Our tiers for today are Fights, Thops, and Loses. This is like when you first get into Liurnia of the Lakes, you go left, and then there's a church even further left. And you go in there, you get the Sacred Tier, but you can also talk to this dude named Thops, who wants to get into the academy, but can't because he doesn't have his own key. He sells, like, he's got, like, sorceries that he invented or stuff like that. He has, like, Thops' Barrier, which is, like, one of the best defensive magic spells in the game. Yeah, this is a character who fights Thops and loses. Then we have does not figure out how to get into Raya Lucaria. These are characters who don't understand that you have to go and find the key. You got to sneak your way past Smaragd or fight Smaragd, whichever one you want to do, and then you can get into the school. Then we have can't beat the Red Wolf. These are people who get stuck on the Red Wolf of Radagon. It's a difficult fight, I understand. Then we have uses all their flasks on Phase 1 Renala. These are the characters who are stupid and don't understand that Renala is a two-phase boss fight. So they use all their flasks too early because they're not prepared enough. And then finally at the top we have Conquers Raya Lucaria. These are the characters who make it all the way through and they win. So the way we're doing this is like going to be like a clean slate. Like everybody who lost and died in part 1 is, resurrected to partake in this part. Okay. So first up we have the Archer Lady. Let's see. I think she would be smart enough to not get into a fight with Thops. I think she would be smart enough to figure out how to get the key. I think the issue is going to come up with the Red Wolf. The Red Wolf is really fast, and it jumps around a lot. It's got a lot of really strong attacks. It'll fuck you up if you're not ready for it. So, yeah, I think she gets stuck on the Red Wolf. In fact, I'd say most characters are probably going to get stuck on the Red Wolf. Right, the Arrow Storm thingy. Yeah, this one fucks. This one goes all the way. This one does not give a shit about anything that's going on in this. Mr. Barbarian Man, or whatever the hell his name is. He let's see. He would fight. No, he fights, stops, and he loses. He's a dumbass. He's not making it out of that. The bats. I think the bats make it past stops. I think the bats would figure out how to get into Raya Lucaria. Since there's 3 bats, so the thing about the Red Wolf is that the Red Wolf is really strong, but it doesn't really have that much health. Like, you can take it down pretty effectively well if you've got, like, a strong build and you use your summons effectively and things like that. And so, since there's 3 bats, they can all, swap aggro, dodge, things like that. I'm going to say that I should have put a tier that's like, gets, so something about losing to Renala's second phase. I think the bats go all the way. Skeleton Bomber Man. I think he would be smart enough to not fight Thops. I think he would figure out how to get in. I think he would fuck up the Red Wolf, especially with those bombs. And then I think that Nah, I think he goes all the way as well. I can see that. I can see him going all the way. Okay. Do I think that a sentient cannon would be smart enough to not pick a fight with a guy who's like... That's the thing about Thops. He's like a really chill, nice dude. Love that guy. So if you wanted to pick a fight with Thops, you'd either have to be a dumb ass or you'd have to be just evil. And so I don't think the cannon is either of those things. I do not think that the cannon is going to be able to figure out how to get into the academy. That's where I'm drawing a line at. Here we've got this dude who looks like he does certain lightning things. And so I think he's in the same... No. He fights Thops, but I bet he wins. I bet he beats Thops. He does not figure out how to get into the academy. Too much of a dumbass for that. Here we got Barbarian with a helmet on. That's my name for him. I think that Barbarian with helmet fights Thops and wins because he got extra protection from the helmet, but he also does not figure out how to get into the academy. He fights Smarag and he loses. That's what we're saying. We've got our fire dude. So I don't think he would pick a fight with Thops. I think this little guy would figure out how to get into the academy. He's so small that he could just like sneak his way past. I mean, I don't know if he's small. He looks like he would be small enough to just sneak his way past Smarag to get the key and then go back to the door. But I don't think he'd be able to make his way past the Red Wolf. I think the Red Wolf's too fast. It's too sort of unpredictable. All the other stuff. Here we have the other archer lady, the one like that. But my headcanon is that this thing right here is like some automatic crossbow that fires really fast. And if she has some shit like that, I guarantee she fucks up the Red Wolf. This one goes all the way. That's what I'm saying. Let's see. The goblins. The first of the goblins, the guy with the crazy look on his face. Because this guy is full-blown delirious. Two blades. I don't think he would fight Thops just because Thops wouldn't stand out to him, because the whole thing with goblins is that they're obsessed with gold. This is actually a tough one, I think, just because there's nothing about Raya Lucaria that might entice these goblins aside from all the glintstone that's around. And that might, it's shiny and other stuff like that. It might catch the goblin's eye. I'm going to say he gets stuck on the Red Wolf. That's what I think. I'm call this guy the scheming goblin. He looks like he's up to no good. Like he's coming up with a plan to steal something. And so I think he also gets stuck on the Red Wolf. Little ice dude. Honestly, I think he would make it past Thops. I think he would figure out how to get into the academy, even though that face might say otherwise. Question is, do I think he could beat the Red Wolf? Frostbite's really damn strong in Elden Ring. We already went over that. If you inflict an enemy with Frostbite, they take a big portion of their health and damage. It's like freaking, I want to say it's like 10% of their health and damage or something like that. It's very similar to Bleed in that aspect, where once they're afflicted with it, they just take a bunch of damage. I think the thing with Frostbite though is that I think enemies take bonus damage from like physical attacks while they're frostbit. I'm not 100% sure though. That's how it is in other games, and I think that's how it is in Elden Ring as well. Now I'm gonna put him up here, and I'm gonna say that he uses all of his flasks on phase 1. He gets bodied by phase 2. Okay, here we've got very proper Nightman, good armor. He looks like he's too nice to fight Thops, so he makes it past that. If he's a knight, that means he's definitely proved himself to be of like higher intelligence than a regular barbarian, and so I think he would figure out how to get inside. I think he'd be able to use his cunning and his swordsmanship skills to beat the Red Wolf. But Renala, I think that... So, okay, the way the Renala boss fight works, in case you're unaware. You walk in the first phase, she's up in the air. She's surrounded by this gigantic shield. It's impenetrable. What you have to do is she's surrounded by... They're like... I don't know what they are exactly, but they're like people who are like... She calls them sweetings, which is not really what they are. They're like people who... They're just because the fight happens in the grand library of the academy. And so these are like, people who are like they're studying, and maybe you could say that they're like students. I don't know exactly. But you have to go around and you have to, one at a time, one of the sweetings will glow and you smack them, and this removes some sort of enchantment off of them, and this causes the shield around Renala to weaken slightly. You kill/attack 3 of these people. Her shield breaks. You can wail on her for however long. I don't know if it's a health... I don't think it's a health threshold. I think it's just a timing thing. But once you do that, then cutscene plays. All of a sudden, you're in some sort of ocean with the moon in the background. It's really cool. And then Renala starts actually fighting you. She's using like laser beams. She's shooting magic missiles at you. She's doing summons. It's really crazy. It's actually a very cinematic boss fight, despite the fact that it is pretty easy, actually. And so, right. When you get into Renala's second phase, she always unleashes this big laser beam. It's called like the... I don't remember what it's called. It has a name. I don't remember what it's called. And then she'll do a bunch of other spells. And some of the things are like, you have to know that the laser beam is coming so that you can know what its timing is so you can dodge out of the way. And the laser beam lasts for a good bit, which gives you plenty of time to run up on her and smack her around. And then she'll start doing other stuff, like she can jump away and do other cool, weird stuff. I would say that the second half of her second phase is the most difficult portion of the whole fight, because that's when she starts using summons. She'll summon wolves, or she has like 4 summons. A pack of wolves, a bloodhound knight, a troll, and a dragon. And each one is only temporary. You don't have to kill the summon to get rid of it. It just goes away. So the best thing to do is to just run away whenever she summons them, and you just sort of pick your moment to go up and fight her. So getting into the more detailed specifics of it, what am I saying? This guy's like a regular build in Elden Ring. He definitely makes it. Okay. We got the gargoyle thingies, or whatever they are. 3 of them, once again. I'm going to say that they're definitely tougher than the bats, and if the bats make it, then these dudes make it. We've got just the one dude, but under the assumption that he's more powerful on his own than these 3 are together, that must mean that he conquers Raya Lucaria. Okay, here we've got the mortar thing. So the mortar might actually be very useful in Raya Lucaria, especially possibly, actually. He definitely makes its way past stops. Even if it does figure out how to get into the academy, it's not going to beat the Red Wolf, because the Red Wolf is just going to rush it, and it's not going to be able to do anything, so it cannot beat the Red Wolf. These people with their green hair and their eye patches, fuck it. Okay, here we got like the box with the person inside of it. I'm gonna think that this thing fights Thops and loses. I'm sorry. Look at this fucking smug asshole. Signature look of superiority on this dude's face. This dude fucks. Just like with Godric, this dude fucks. Okay, here we've got the soldiers with the buckets on their heads. So, they're very well armored, but they can't see anything. And so, do I think that they're dumb enough to fight Thops? That's the thing. Thops, doesn't talk to you. You have to talk to him first. Because, like, the first 2 or 3 times I beat Elden Ring, I had no idea that he was there. I just walked into the church, grabbed the tear, and left. I had no idea that he was just sitting on a bench a couple feet away. Never noticed him before. So I think these guys would make it past stops just due to the fact that they just wouldn't even notice him there. There's 3 of them, so I think if you put them together, they would be able to figure out how to get into the academy. These dudes are very well armored. I think they would fuck up the Red Wolf, especially if there's 3 of them. Yeah, I think these guys go all the way. I think they go all the way. All right, here we have Sentient Barrel of Death. So, Sentient Barrel of Death that drops from the sky and floats around on balloons. It doesn't even have a chance to fight Thops because it just floats past him. Can't believe I'm saying this. This thing does not even get into the academy because I would require it to drop and fall. Okay. Here we have skeleton dogs / dinosaurs / whatever these things are. And if they're anything like the dogs in Elden Ring already are, then they're vicious, which means the first sight of Thops, they're going to kick his ass. Yeah, Thops is not winning that fight. So do I think that a couple of skeleton dogs can figure out the puzzle to get into Raya Academy? It's not really a puzzle. You just you grab a piece of paper, you find its spot on the map, and then you do the thing. But they would try to fight Smarag, and they would lose. They do not get into the academy. Skelebro. That's what I'm calling him. Skelebro. Skeleto dude. He seems chill. I don't think he would fight Thops. I think he would get into the academy. I think he would beat the Red Wolf. I don't. What I'm beginning to realize is that anybody who would be dumb enough to use all their flasks on phase 1 is getting stopped before they make it that far, right? So like the people who would be dumb enough to use all their flasks aren't even getting into the academy. Because like the archer, if she could beat the Red Wolf, she would make it. This little dude, I think he would make it. Really, it's like this goblin would use all his flasks. He's like really the only one right now. And then there's all these dudes down here. They would use all their flasks or whatever. But besides the point, Skelebro makes it. He makes it. The snowball, because fuck you. Does the snowball just choose violence at all times? Would it see Thops and just be taken aback by this overwhelming feeling of rage? Do I think a snowball has the capacity to be able to solve a light puzzle to get into the academy where the rest of the area happens? I think this thing's unstoppable in a fight, but I think that as far as a sort of scavenger hunt, if you will, would be too much for it. It does not get into the academy. This dude is straight up evil. Look at that face. He's looking at you like he's going to do unspeakable things that I'm not allowed to talk about on YouTube to you. And so, he's going to take one look at Thops and think that he's got a chance, and this dude gets bodied by Thops. Lightning Tower. So the moving, sentient, unstoppable lightning tower absolutely fucking destroys. That's what I'm saying. Because it just moves around and it just like automatically attacks and destroys everything. Hell, this thing's gonna be going all the way. That's what I think. And then finally we have the Bottle of Lightning, which, what I'm imagining is that the bottle just like floats around in it, and then whenever it sees something it wants to fight, it opens itself up and just shoots lightning out. Fucking destroys everything in front of it. But maybe its weakness is that it kind of opens up slowly, which gives time for stuff to get around it or behind it or get close to it. As long anything that's in front of it gets fucking annihilated. Yeah, it goes all the way. It fucks. But here you all have it. This was part 2 of which Clash Royale common card could beat Elden Ring. This was Raya Lucaria Manor and the beginning of Liurnia of the Lakes. If you all enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. Once again, I would really love to reach 400 before the end of the year. It would mean the world to me if you would hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a like on this video so that YouTube will recommend more to you and to everybody else. Share this video with your friends. This is important knowledge. This will be on the test. And finally, if you have, leave a comment down below letting me know what ranking you want to see next. It can be anything. Channel is called Rank Everything. Once again, thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a good one.